It's The Wrath of Taylor Hicks. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing my second story time. If you watched my first story time, you'll know what this is about. If you haven't watched my first story time, go watch it. I don't know why I'm going like this. I'll link it in the description below. I guess that's what they do, right? So go watch it. It's my Bell's palsy story. So my second story time is going to be how I got stuck in Cleveland and I blame Taylor Hicks. It all started. No, I'm not going to talk like that. That's silly. I have a friend of mine who had season ticket, like Key Bank series. You could get tickets for like the whole season. You could get 2 tickets for each show. So at any time that she couldn't go, she would try and give them away to people who like to go. And occasionally she would call me, and if I was able to go, she would graciously give me her tickets. One show I had the opportunity to go and see was Grease. So my sister and I packed up our stuff, and I'm not sure why. It must have been summertime. We were out at a campgrounds with our family, and we were going straight from there. And my sister and I got into, I want to say it was a 2001. My first car was, maybe it was a 2005. I don't remember. It was a Dodge Neon, a silver Dodge Neon. We got into the car and my sister says,
"Oh, I left my phone in the trailer. Should I go and get it?"
And I said,
"No, I have mine. The only people that are going to call us would call either one of us. So it's fine. I have mine. No big deal."
We hit the road up to Cleveland, which is about an hour and a half from our house. So we're going to see Grease. We walk into the theater. We're all the way in the back, which is fine. In my opinion, there's no bad seats in Playhouse Square. The biggest thing I don't like about Playhouse Square is that the seats are very narrow. And for a big plus size girl like me, I need some more room. So in any case, this was the series. This was the run that Taylor Hicks was playing Teen Angel. This is really going to be showing my age. If you don't know who Taylor Hicks is, I'll have to put right here. He won. Did he win? I'm going to have to look it up because if I'm honest, I don't remember. I don't know, but he was on American Idol. He was playing Teen Angel. So people were really excited about that, but I was sort of like, whatever, it's Taylor Hicks. The show's over. Somebody comes out on stage. I'm not sure who it was. I don't remember. They come out on the stage and they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Hicks!" I look at my sister. I say,
"I didn't come here for this. Let's go."
So we pick up our stuff and we head out of the theater with other people, mind you. I wasn't being rude. The show was over. I was there to see Grease. I was not there to see Taylor Hicks. I wasn't really interested. So we left. We get to the parking garage and we get in the car and we start to back out of the parking spot and our car makes the most horrific sound. Something's not right. I get out of the car, my sister continues to back up, and I notice the back tires are not turning. They're just skidding, screeching. We decide to call our parents. Meanwhile, I notice when I take out my phone to call my parents, I was a big old
Dum-dum.
and didn't turn my phone off when we were in the theater. If you've ever been to a theater before, and I am a well-seasoned theater patron, you know you turn your phone off. You turn your phone off. I didn't turn my phone off. So my phone was at like a solid 8%. So we call our parents, and my dad is a mechanic, and he says, by the time I get there, and I probably won't even be able to fix it, you need to call AAA. Have them bring it back to the house. We call AAA, and while we're on the phone with them, my sister gets through most of the request, and my phone dies. Now remember, if you were paying attention at the beginning of this story, my sister doesn't have her phone because I told her it would be okay to leave at home. Are you serious? So her phone's dead. Our car's broke, and we're not even 100% sure the AAA is coming. We walk down to the office in the parking garage. The attendant begrudgingly lets us use his phone. He was not a nice dude. So we're sitting there, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and the parking attendant says,
"Just so you know, the parking garage closes at midnight."
The gates will close, and that's that. If your car's inside, sorry. And at that point, we weren't that worried because the show had ended at like 10:15. So we were like, okay, we should have plenty of time. So then we're standing there and we're just waiting at the entrance to the parking garage. And then we notice the crowd is now coming out of the theater. So obviously the performance of Taylor Hicks is over. Great. No tow truck. We're just waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then we see the people in red coats leaving the theater. If you've ever been to Playhouse Square, you know the people in the red coats are the ushers. Like, it's late at this point. You know that it's becoming very late if the people wearing red coats are leaving the theater. My sister and I were starting to get really nervous. I'm gonna say we were nervous the whole time before that, but like things are getting serious now. And we're waiting and we're waiting, and we know it's got to be getting close to midnight. I think we might have called our parents one more time. We're like, they're not here yet. They're like, okay, just wait a little bit longer. Which in hindsight, I feel like my parents should have called and like should have been able to check on it. We're sitting there, and I looked to my sister and I said,
"This is all Taylor Hicks' fault. He's mad that we didn't stay to see his show, so he broke the neon."
It's the wrath of Taylor Hicks. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this. My dad specifically was like, you need to ask for a flatbed because they won't be able to pull the car because the tires aren't turning. So you need to make sure they bring a flatbed. Now, my sister had asked them to bring a flatbed, but remember, my phone died like halfway through the conversation. So we're not even 100% sure that they're coming and 100% sure that they're bringing a flatbed. So we're waiting for any sign of a tow truck. The streets are empty. It's that late. Now, it was like a Saturday night in Cleveland. The streets were empty. Finally, we're sitting there and we see a tow truck coming like down from the highway across the road. And we see him coming towards the parking garage. We're like, please let this be our guy. So in Cleveland, in Ohio in general, there's always construction everywhere. And there just happened to be like some construction right outside of the parking garage. And there was all these cones, so there's all these cones. They might be redoing the sidewalk or something. I don't know. He pulls the truck up. He wanted to like pull in front of like where the gates are, like the entrance and exit, so we could put our car right up onto the truck. And he just pushes the traffic cones with the nose of his truck. Just pushes them out of the way. Not a care in the world. And this guy, this huge man, gets out of this truck. Huge, burly guy. He's got a huge red beard. He's super tall, super like a lumberjack, this guy, and he means business. So he comes over and he starts talking to my sister, and the parking attendant's freaking out. He's like, it is 5 till midnight. They need to get their car out or I am closing it at midnight. And I will never, ever forget what this tow truck driver said. He looked at the parking attendant and said,
"Sir, I am getting these girls' car out and them home, whether you close that gate or not. I'll take the gate off. I've done it before. I can do it again."
And the parking attendant just turned around and went back to his office. So we walk up to where our car is because the guy's like, I obviously can't get my truck into the parking garage. You're going to have to drive your car down. So the car was drivable, and it was the most horrific sound. She had to drive it down 3 levels with this huge, huge screeching sound. It was horrible. So we get the car loaded. And again, we don't have a cell phone to call our parents and be like, hey, we're on our way home. Nope. So it's midnight. We have the car loaded. We peace out to the parking attendant. See you never, bro. And we make the trek home. I made my sister sit in between the guy and me. And I was like so close to the door. I couldn't have gotten closer to that door if I was a part of it. And she is like sort of like talking to him like nicely, like thank you so much. And then it's silence for like the next hour and a half. I mentioned I've never been happier to see my hometown in my entire life. It's 2 a.m. The streets are quiet. Nobody's awake. We pull up to my parents' house. My dad tips the guy a ludicrous amount because the guy says, I'm from Cleveland. I have to go back. So I'm sure by the time he got home, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. Like, I'm sure he will never see this. And even if he does see this, I'm sure he'll never remember. I couldn't even tell you his name. But sir, you were incredible. You were the best guy in the world. It was the most insane experience of my life. And I still, to this day, blame Taylor Hicks. I know that something in the universe, he was like, those girls did not stay for my show. So it's karma. It's straight. It's just he broke my car because he was mad I didn't stay for his show. But if I'm honest, if I had to do it all over again, I wasn't staying for his show. I wasn't doing it. So that's it, you guys. That's my story of how I got stuck in Cleveland because of the wrath of Taylor Hicks. If you liked this story time, please let me know. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. We are so close to 70 subscribers. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. Like we are so close. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And like I said, if you liked this video, please let me know down below if you want to hear more story times. I don't have a lot of cool stuff that happens to me, but if you want to hear about it, let me know. So thank you so much for joining me, and I love you very much. Bye.